Hi guys, this is Harsh Bharadwaj back again with part 2 of the book list videos. I've already done part 1, paper 1. So this is paper 2. Paper 2 includes text from the literary era of 1900 onwards as far as until 1990. We have two sections again, section A, section B, and poetry and prose are in one section, and poetry and play is in one section, and prose is in entirely separate section. As I always request you and suggest you that you must read all original poems, all original texts when it comes to UPSC. There is no other alternative, because a lot of students who specifically with English literature background are not used to reading original texts. Ironically, that's the case, and there is no substitute to reading in original texts. So these are the poets, list of poets: T.S. Eliot, W.B. Yeats, W.H. Auden, Philip Larkin, A.K. Ramanujan, John Osborne, Samuel Beckett. Only one Indian poet. Eliot, Yeats, Auden, modernist poets. Philip Larkin, slightly postmodern, post-war. Ramanujan, again later. John Osborne and Samuel Beckett, they have one play each. John Osborne's Look Back in Anger and Samuel Beckett's Waiting for Godot, the classic legendary play of all times. The list is in the description, and you will have to buy all the original texts. For poetry, I'm including a PDF that you can download. You can email us, and we will send you the PDF. So we have collected all the poems of all the poets, and you can get all of them in one place. There is no one anthology that has all of these poets in one place. So we have collected all the poems from the internet. This is what I use to teach my students for my online classes and for the test series. So that's quite a neat little handy PDF you can get. For prose, yeah, this is an important slide, because this is in essence, this is my formula, this is my mantra for UPSC success with English literature. You must read all the original poems first, and this also applies to prose. Read the summaries if needed. And I can understand English is not our mother tongue, English is not our first language for the Indian students. So it's okay if you read summaries afterwards you've read the originals first. And after you've done the summary, then go back to the original again. You'll understand a lot more. But the answers who get higher marks are the answers where the examiner can see an aspirant's original thought, not the thought that's available from the summary books or from the internet websites or from the, all those university kunjis. So that is not the kind of answer they're looking for. They're looking for original opinion. So that's why reading original text and trying to understand it is paramount. Original texts, read all original texts please. Applies to prose as well. So let's look at the prose section. We have 7 authors in the prose section, similar to paper 1. There also we had 7. Joseph Conrad, Lord Jim. James Joyce, Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. D.H. Lawrence, Sons and Lovers. E.M. Forster, Passage to India. Virginia Woolf, Mrs. Dalloway, Raja Rao Kantapura. V.S. Naipaul, A House for Mr. Viswas. Very quickly, I can go through all these texts and point you at the important concepts that all these texts are about. Joseph Conrad's Lord Jim is about the colonial effect of the British Empire on the colonies. James Joyce's Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man is a typical modernist text, and we'll be looking at the narrative of James Joyce and the stream of consciousness technique, which also is important in Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway. Passage to India is Again, theories of colonialism, right? So we'll be talking about colonialism, imperialism, how the race, the two races intermingle and intermix in this book. Sons and Lovers, the primary concepts is the audible complex and the treatment of sexuality by Lawrence. Raja Rao's Kantapura is about the 1930s freedom struggle in India. So the Gandhian concept, the Gandhian philosophy. A House for Most Mr. Biswas is a post-colonial, post-imperial state of a former colony in Trinidad. Fantastic book. After the original texts, what about the extra study topics that students ask? So as I suggested in the first video, do not fuss about the book on this literary eras and English literature. Get any good history of English literature text and that will do. Okay, any good book that you feel is good enough for you. These are the content, these are the topics. And as I said, in my online classes and in my test series, you do not read to understand all these topics separately. When we do T.S. Eliot, when we do James Joyce, when we do Virginia Woolf, we automatically talk about modernism and modernist concepts. When we are doing Auden, we talk about poets of the 30s. When we talk W.B. Yeats, again we talk about modernism. Colonialism and post-colonialism apply to Joseph Conrad's, E.M. Forster's texts. So we don't need to read them separately if you understand and do the original texts in a proper way. Final comments, folks, follow the sequence that I have recommended: poetry, prose, history. Please, please, please do read original texts. I am giving you a list in the description for the prose texts. So these are the Amazon links. You can go to Amazon and buy these books. You only have to buy 14 books. For poetry, I'm going to give you PDF that collects all the poems in one place. So that's quite handy for you. Practice answers from day one and get feedback from a good mentor, who could be a professor, tutor, or maybe your co-aspirant if you cannot find anyone else. My test series is always available. I'm taking students throughout the year depending on my workload. So you can reach me out for the test series. And last but not the least, good luck, happy reading, and God bless. Thanks a lot.